personally, I'm just asking how when you went through this interview process, how many of these things did we look at?
She meets all of them except for the part where we do the business license with the different those big companies like the gas company,
And does
insurance
she have
companies.
any kind of accounting degree or trade school?
She has a degree, yeah, a bachelor's, I think, and
What's the need?
I think hers is an accountant, isn't it? Mayor?
Accounting and business is very good. And that's
I think so.
a simple question I'm asking,
Yeah.
is how many off that checklist, I looked at that thing and I'm not saying that we gotta require that to hire this person, because a lot of times we look at other things, job experience, stuff like that. I'm just curious how many things.
We currently work at the state of the and it's pretty much the same as. And still, I'm just asking, and I think they even, there were some other things in there they require in that position over there. But, you know, she has a lot of experience. She's worked in public service before. She's worked for a private company, insurance company, doing pretty much a lot of the same thing.
What is her name again?
Elizabeth Richardson.
Richardson.
She resident of Monroe County.
Yeah, she lives about 10 minutes out of town.
Okay.
I think that's my advantage, you know, not having to drive over here. Okay. The next
They don't
item,
make every man.
well, they took one from us.
We can take it from them.
We've already discussed a new hire of the court magistrate. The other thing is the promotion of Mr. Jarrell West from equipment operator one to street foreman. That's due to adjustment in the lead. Determination of Isaiah Biggs with Public Works. I think y'all may have seen everything on there we violated Holiday Stevie twice. And then we wanted to advertise for a public works laborer, that's the position that he was in. And then we need to advertise for a public works equipment operator 1 and 2. Because one of those was Mr. West of the equipment operator 1. Is advertised for public works landscaper. And we're doing this with Mike was saying that what's your lady's name? April. Right, she's currently a laborer today, and she's going through and she's getting all of the certifications with the mixing of the chemicals and all that required as a position now. Yeah, so it'll probably be after October 1. When we both petition and fill it, and she'll, you know, it'll be like promotion internal, we do it internal. And we have the opening of the bids for the water fountain with Main Street, and I know last time I opened up bids before I was supposed to. I put them into legal hands, she would give it to me at the meeting, we'll open them bids. Then we have October 23rd, 2022, Breast Cancer Walk for the Monroe County business women. And what are they asking for here?
Miss Debbie wants to know if she needed to get an approval to actually do a walk. So she asked me to put it on there just to, she said the last time she did it, she put it on there, y'all said that she didn't, but she just went ahead and got it approved by the council.
Okay. Would it be, did she say that they're gonna be using the streets or anything like that?
Yes, sir. She said she took it to Michael Davenport already.
Okay.
She said she couldn't talk to you maybe because you don't need nothing.
They started the water tower. I'll be in that month, so we started.
Okay. Which way y'all will?
I think we went past Mary's place. And then the church. And oh my God, I had to stop because I just didn't want to. They went all the way to the junior high school. But I didn't go on the way. Joanne, where did y'all go?
We came our way back around the green house school and came back.
But we started over here and went by Melvin's place, right? And then the First Baptist, I think what's the name of that street?
The Methodist church went on around.
Went around the square to the,
Circle back around and come back to square.
yeah, we passed the, jumped past the city hall. Yeah.
All right. Good. Do we need a approval on that or? Police department good with it, chief? So, what we do? Let me know, and if there's a motion. The other thing that's brought to my attention from Ms. McKelvey is that the strategic plan is ready for presentation. And she said she would need possibly about an hour to do it, and I can see if we can do it at the next council meeting, September 20th. Also, I would like to go back and hold a special work session on the budget on September 13th. I had gone through with Councilman Gruden and we had made some reductions in it, which we came close. Within about $100,000. So what our projected revenue is going to be. And, but I received some information the other day that has to do with all of our emails and everything, and the way that's gonna have to be redone, so it may go up by another 20,000, so I'm not sure this yet. But we don't have a whole lot of choice in this. Also, I have a request from Monroeville County High School, for permission to conduct their parade in the bonfire. The bonfire is on September 22nd, and the parade will be on September 23rd, starting at 1 o'clock at Main Street, all the regular route. Okay. Also, one of the things that I'd like to announce is that I got an email from Silver Southeast, and ADM is going to award us received word from ADM that the rubber mulch grants for Paulsdale Park and the playground of Vandy Fair Drive will be awarded soon. So that's good. So, okay, that's pretty much everything that I have present to you at this time. I don't know. Councilman Brew, you have anything?
No, sir, I don't think so at this time.
Councilman McDaniel? Councilman Russell? Okay. Tom?
Yes, now it's good time to need. Another community house issue. Individual called and she had a date scheduled. All right, she had paid the full $800 ahead of time. No, I think under normal circumstances, they would have paid, what, $250, and then maybe the week of, pay the other, the remainder, which would be $550. Well, she has gone on and paid the full amount, and then decided not to hold the event. I mean, to me, she should get all her money back except for her deposit. I mean, had she come in on Friday and said, I'm not going to use it this weekend, all the skin she would have had in the game would have been $250. You see where I'm coming from? But she went on and paid the full amount. So my thing is, we shouldn't punish her or penalize her for going and paying ahead of time.
She said the reason, she called me too. She said the reason why she decided to pay the whole thing, because she had the money during that camp. But we are welcome to keep the deposit, but she would like to have the other money back.
I mean, the deposit, yeah, I
She
mean,
said
there's
we
no,
can keep the
to me,
deposit.
there's
I
no
think it's
debate
like
about that.
250.
What was she telling you need to make?
She can get the security deposit, and that's how we've been doing it always. We only require them to pay half of the amount, which is what, if she rented the community house for 3 days, it would be what? Is it 750? No, 1,000 for 3 days.
It's $800 total, it wasn't,
Okay, so
it was
800
$800.
total. So she only had to pay,
She only had
she
to
only
pay
paid, yeah,
she only had to pay 250. And
but she went ahead and paid the whole amount.
Right,
We
she
don't
ought
require-
she ought to lose 250.
So
but
we
yeah.
don't require them to do that, but in the past, and I had to call the ex community too to see if it was correct the way that I was reading it, and she said, we don't give the money back. The only thing that we give back is the security deposit, and I told her whenever that date open up, if somebody rents that date, then she can get the money back.
Well, I'll make a
So-
motion then that we change the policy, because I don't think it's fair to folks to penalize somebody just because they
All of it.
paid all of it. They
Yeah,
had money and paid all.
I think,
So also keep in mind, whenever you change this policy, I have to go back and give the other people their money back too.
How many times has this happened?
This
since
has
you've
been a lot of times that we have kept it because we opened the date. Now, the ones that we opened the date for and somebody booked it, they got
Understand?
their money back.
Yeah, that's got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Now, what he's talking about is if they pay them out in full. to
The
start
whole
with.
No, it has been some people that have paid the
Lost
whole
all of it.
amount and they lost all of it.
Well, that's not right.
so if you pay the whole amount, you can't get it back, so we need to let them know that you can't pay the whole amount.
Well, we need to change, yeah, we need to let people know that up front, that they don't have to pay the other $550
Pay the
until
deposit.
Friday before,
Mhm.
but yeah.
Is that not, didn't all that on the agreement when this time?
It is, it's on the back. The only thing that they get back, when I was showing you at the bottom, is that security deposit.
But that's what she want, right?
No, she wants all her
She
money
wants-
back and she wants us to keep the security deposit.
Her deposit, the 250 we keep and give her the money back.
Yeah. Well,
I mean-
when cause she opened the date, so there is a chance that she can get it, cause it's farther out.
That's what it needs.
But
So what,
like I said, that's up to y'all.
If, somebody comes through and book that date, then they get the other refund.
They get
they
it
get
all
the
back.
deposit,
We get all of that.
Yeah. But in this case, she knew nobody was gonna take it, you know, when it came time. So all we need to do is keep her deposit. In my way of thinking, and give her $550 back. I mean, just because she had enough, you know, about her to go and pay the whole amount. I mean, I don't think we need to
Okay.
So on the back of
penalize
that
her
paper,
for paying
paying it out.
ahead of time, you know?
I'm just gonna, well, on the back of that paper, the deposit that y'all are talking about, it only states the security deposit on the back of there. There's not a set deposit of what y'all are talking about. We require them to pay half of it. It's not called there's a deposit. The security deposit is their deposit.
That's separate.
Yeah.
Way it reads, you have to pay half of the rental.
Yeah,
In
just
the
half
bank.
of it. Mhm.
So that would be the most,
Mhm.
she would be able to get back what's the difference between that if we don't give her anything.
I'll let y'all decide that, cause
Yeah,
like
but
I
I mean,
said.
that would necessarily be changing the policy,
Mhm.
that part of it. Understand, the security deposit she would get back,
Mhm.
no question, to be, because there was no damage done to the rent. But there is a requirement to pay half of the rental in
Yeah.
advance.
Mhm.
So therefore, if the rental was one night, $500, she'd be entitled to the most $250 back.
That's
I
all.
do not, I can understand what you're saying, but that's, I'm reading back the way the contract reads.
So you're saying she'd get 250 plus the.
Half, she get her security deposit back and half the rent that she would have paid, she would not have paid, had to pay for the last. That's the way, if I remember the way the thing reads.
So what if she came in here on Friday and she had only paid her security deposit? What if she came in on Friday and she said, I'm not gonna use it this weekend?
You're gonna have to pay to the half of the rental in advance
Mhm.
before that. That's
And we
required.
were only
You don't get
required
paid
half of
security
it,
deposit, you have to
but
pay
if they
half.
pay, If they pay the full amount of it, then they still have to wait until a date open up, because we have never refunded that money, because we only require them to pay half. That's up to them if they pay the whole amount. The only thing that we refund is the security deposit, because they don't use it. And then if they open up the date, then somebody books it, then we give them the whole amount back.
Well, she, doing the date had already passed, so she knows that nobody's gonna take it.
I had opened the date up for her, because she told me to.
So what's the
It's in
date?
the past or in the future.
I can't remember the date, but I can go get it.
I mean, that's,
It causes just from the accounts payable side, a lot of work, extra work that has to be done. Billing money.
you know, realistically, unfortunately, they're saying, if you're gonna beat the system, this is the way you need to do it. They have after the rent, which is what required, and not pay the other for the last minute. Then you would not be out there the part. But now I'm not aware that we actually people have lost the total amount. But because of that,
I bet somebody up here would have heard about it if they had.
Well, what you've done is you've blocked that date for any future rental of anybody else. We have
I
calls.
agree that we
calls.
went
We've
round and
lost
round about that
money.
part of it.
And we do open it back up and give it, the sooner they let us know, I don't want it, it's open for that span of time to give others that have already wanted it a chance, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can understand both sides, yeah, that is a lot of money.
So what are we saying this person would get back?
It's the most they should be able to get back in half. If
The security deposit.
the security deposit is no more.
The
You get
250 plus half of it,
You know,
the
they
550.
don't get any of the rent back.
Well, that's what they're saying we've not done, but
Because we weren't able to rent it. It
I
wasn't
understand.
available to,
but if she would have only paid half
right,
the deposit,
yeah.
then
true.
you would not, we would not have went
We
after
wouldn't have
her.
had it, yeah.
We would not have went after
Right.
that person for the other half
Right.
if they did not rent it. And there in the sense, we probably broke even because we didn't have utilities and we didn't have cleanup and we didn't have other things. But maybe that's the way it needs, if we do any rewording, do that, but I can't say any way. By the way, I remember reading, saying, well, by what it reads, it's her mistake paying the whole amount. But if the most of any scenario, she could get, I say it should get half of what the rental would have been back. Because that's all that's been required of her if she had not paid all of it.
I don't think there was any, about her security deposit. I mean, she knew she was gonna be that, and the other half of it, I don't think that. But it should be, but it was just the thing to keep it off.
I can,
That's the thing.
So because we gonna call a manager. Her date is still open.
What's that date?
What's the date? September. Something like that.
Well, she can get somebody to take it on it.
But she asked me to open it, so I opened it, so it's on.
Step 2 and 1.
Because she saw.
No.
How long, what was the time that she needed?
August is the one she called me, and so she canceled it first and put it back on, and canceled it again, and then she, that's when I told her that she asked me about opening it, and so I opened it up the date.
So she canceled it, and then,
And then she said she was gonna do it. Cause she had previously called me. And then she called me. Yeah.
so, yeah, one more chance.
Yeah, that's I pay the whole of this. And you, that's right.
This is what I was talking about.
So the 250 is switch. Is it 125 each? Or how does- So that's half of the program. And the damage is a 250.
If she's not gonna get it back, if it's going and do something, she's gonna go in and do something.
And it
Yeah,
doesn't
she's
say
not gonna get it.
whether there's any difference in the deposit versus paying in the full.
But she should just go on and find somebody to go up in there, and bang or do something.
Right.
Do that.
Now, would she have an option to book it in the future to roll that fee? She hadn't already used that one time that she was. Okay.
All fees must be paid 7 days prior to the event. The city reserves the right to cancel such event. The rental fee is $500. I do not see where it specifically says after that it's been paid in advance. Is that required?
We
250?
require, yeah, we require them to pay half of it, just the
Okay, where does
minimum.
it
amount.
state that in the contract? I mean, it's in there probably, but I hadn't found it.
Hold on, because it's another step.
I mean, again, it may be in there, my little eyes didn't found it yet. Pay $500, which is the full amount of the rent.
Social Security Department.
Is it 5 or 550?
Or,
550.
no, 500 is rent. Hey,
So what's the security deposit? Hey, we'll get that.
300.
Is it 300? That's a
yeah,
damage.
that's why I want about.
That's a damage deposit,
We
right?
require 250 to put their name in the book, otherwise you're gonna have that date
That's, that half,
reserved.
that is half.
That's the half, the other half plus the 300 is due a week before the event,
Okay, then
but that
technically,
half is reserved.
did she pay a damage deposit of $300?
She paid everything.
Yes,
paid
she
800.
paid everything, then
Everything.
yes.
She paid $800, that's what she told me.
So should we do the 300 now the residents?
Yeah, that's what we give David.
Five.
But if we get into this, it's just depends on it's gonna cause us again. This is a lot of time consuming
Yeah.
on one individual. And sometimes all of us.
That's- You know, this thing says $500 one day, $250 down. So she'd only had to pay $250 down, would not have paid, had to pay it up to 7 days before. Correct? Okay, $300 deposit was paid. And that's no question refundable on that part. The only question would be is if someone did not rent it and only paid $250, then that would be all we would ask for. But now in case she paid $500 and within, it says 7 days, we have to pay all of it. If she notifies 7 days before, I can see where it could be interpreted as being able to refund the other $250 back. Not saying we should or we have to, but I can see where that's conceivable by reading it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to penalize her just because she went on and paid the full amount ahead of time.
And she would also have the option to select a future date if she wanted to roll that
Yeah,
money
that-
forward.
But, I mean,
Yeah.
if she doesn't, I mean, it's not required that you wrote.
Right.
She said we've had several people to do this. That's what Tamika said.
Ask for,
So what?
ask for a refund of the.
She said we've had.
This type of situation right here, I mean, time that happens.
Well, usually what I talked to them that said that is used counsel.
If you cancel, but that's getting an opportunity to get over. even the original $250 reservation. And I think we should keep that, there's no question.
No, that's about $250.
You change the ordinance, you don't necessarily have to go back and refund all those others, because you're setting a new ordinance.
I would think that would be true too.
Well, that's not an ordinance.
Our new policy,
Policy change all the time.
just establish a new policy effective date, so
They already have the option there, they can move it to another date and not lose it.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, that
Didn't
wasn't
wanna do that.
consideration.
Yeah.
She wasn't interested in doing it,
Right, exactly.
so we're not looking at that.
Right.
So we might need to let her just move it to another day, so
doesn't
she
want
can't get that money.
But that's what the policy states, right? You can
Move it.
move it one
Move
time.
it to-
One time.
And she moved it one time.
She hadn't moved it.
But she don't want to move.
She just canceled it, then she put it back on, and then she said that she didn't wanna do it, and I told her how we don't do the refund, we just do the security deposit back. And she told me to send her a check in the mail, and then she said, well, open up the date for me. So I opened up the date for him.
But best not pay the money, just.
Yeah.
If you have a choice about it, don't pay pay 300 and 250.
What they're
You don't
saying
pick
is
up-
advise people in the future not to pay the full
That's.
amount.
We gray area in here. Look at
You
that.
have to look at all of them.
So what we're saying, she's not gonna get the money back at all.
You get a security part.
You get the 250 back.
She gets the 250 back, so that's what we need.
300.
That's what she can do. 300.
You get 300 back.
That's the security deposit.
Damage deposit.
That's what she.
Yeah, it's damage deposit.
Tamika, have we done that before? Besides the,
Refunded.
I mean, besides the security deposit, did they get any of the other stuff done?
They only get the damage deposit back. We
How
had
much?
refunded, that's the 300 that we're talking
That's
about.
300.
Yeah, they only got the damage.
So nobody
deposit
else got the,
back. No,
And
they
they,
kept all the other money.
and they have paid full amount.
The ones that have paid full amounts, they didn't
There
take
have
that
one
money,
that paid full amount. I just-
and they haven't got it back. They
I
only
mean-
get the, damage deposit back.
so now if
Yeah.
you end up doing that, they can come back and ask for their money.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you, but,
Yeah.
How many have paid the full amount?
I would have to go back and pull them, but
We y'all.
Between
we-
me, Amy,
Within
and
2
Bill.
weeks, we y'all go through and give us the numbers on that.
Why don't we go ahead and
Don't
get,
make it official.
go ahead and send the 300 and then we can determine
Yeah,
the
the
rest of it
300,
later.
there's no question about 300.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that, but if you do it for her, you gotta go back and do it for everybody else.
How far
You
you
don't
gonna
have
go
to,
back?
but it'll probably be a wise thing.
I mean, if you do it, you just do it
Yeah.
right.
That's why I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say you have to, but it may be a wise thing.
So we need to let her know that she can get $300 back.
Oh, she knows that. I
Oh,
told her.
you've already told her.
It's
I thought
hard
she
for
could
me to
get the,
believe
damage
that if
deposit
a
back.
person has lost their full amount, that somebody sitting up here till now is not heard.
No, it is not.
I have.
It's not her.
The only ones we had, the only ones we had issue with is the double. Right. But yeah, that's the thing. If you do that, that'll give us that.
How far do you want me to
We'll
go back?
get this conversation right now.
How many years?
It's just go back since COVID, it's just go back to the 2 year period there.
About
and
3
we got the- that's reasonable. Now, we're not gonna go back to life history.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
So what, January 2020, what do you
I
want
think
to talk about?
Yeah.
That's 4:30.
Squeeze by.
Okay, at this time, on the agenda, there is scheduled a public hearing, to begin at 4:30. At this time, I'd like to ask the Reverend Pastor Yul Cunningham if he's given an invitation.
Shall we pray? Dear God, our Father, we come this afternoon with our heads bowed and our hearts in humble submission. Your word teaches us to trust in you with all our heart and to lean not into our own understanding, that in all our ways we should acknowledge you and that you would direct our path. We pray this afternoon for your guidance. We pray for your strength. We ask for your knowledge, your peace, your wisdom, and your understanding. Keep us now in thy care, that all that we do be done decent and in order, for your glory and our good. Remember our city, our county, our state, and our nation. Lord, we just ask that you would bless America. Keep us in your darling care. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Pledge of allegiance. Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
A public hearing was requested to discuss a land swap between the city of Monroeville and Decoy Incorporated. The purpose of the land swap was to build, a apartment complex, on property that is owned by the city, which is right across the street from the old dine house location, and property owned by Decoy, which is located at the intersection of Alabama 21 and
Vantage Drive.
And Main Street.
Main Street and Vantage Fair. Yeah, Highway 21. Now, this one is Highway 21 crossing the double.
That's
Bypass.
that is-
And
Okay,
Vantage
bypass.
Alabama, 21 Deer Road and Main Street.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the other property is on 21 and
It's on-
Van Fair Drive.
That's right.
Property. Two separate properties.
Two separate properties.
Okay. Now,
Correct, no.
That, it's on Van Fair Drive, it's that corner lot, straight off Western Island.
right. Okay. There have been, property appraisals done on the property. The property located at Main and Drury Road was appraised at $69,000. And the property located at, Alabama 21 bypass and, Vantage Fair Drive was appraised at, I think it was $123,000. Yeah, okay, so at this time, we're open for public comment.
I think it's a bad idea. I'm really being real, I drive, so park over there. I mean, that's a safe place to park. To me, I parked at the old mall, hey, diesel being stolen, equipment being stolen. So with me, I really think it's a bad idea. I mean, apartment complex, you got Rockwood up here, empty apartment. You got, Camilla Place, empty apartment, Eagle Point, bunch of empty apartments over there. I mean, to bring some more apartment, why not bring some jobs, man? Make it at least over $10 an hour. So you try to push all the working people out with where we park our show. That's a bad idea. That's the way I feel about it. Bad idea. Why not bring more jobs over $10 an hour? That solves some of that. That's what I did.
Could you, for the record, would you identify yourself?
My name is Reginald Payne.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Sabrina Rush. I stay at 52 Main Street. And I'm against building new apartments. I don't think it's fair to the people who live in the neighborhood for years. We would like things the way they are. The neighborhood people is clean and we have little to no problem. If apartment complex is built, all that could be taken away. We don't need new apartment and truckers. We do not want them. We support the truckers that park over there because they're respectful to us. They don't bother anyone. They just keep to themselves. The apartment that we do have in the city of Monroe are valid taken care of as is. When stating a project like this, not only do you need to think about the people that help, but also the people that it hurts. Just think about all the things that will be taken away if it is built. There will be no longer be movie nights in the area. The parade can no longer start there. The truck can no longer park there. Sometimes the city hosts other events on the property, and there's so much more. And also, I don't think building an apartment complex in the area is the right fit. The property is such a random place to build an apartment complex. I don't think we can agree that when Vanity Fair was torn down, we all were devastated for a long time. I worked it there over 8 years when it was torn down. I walked out my door to my job every day. And it stopped me way back. It took me through something because of I lost a job paying good money right across the road. That's what we need, building something for kids to enjoy. I just want to end by saying this. The people in the neighborhood deserve a say so in what is built across the street from us. We should be the top priority. Thank you for your time. That's all I have.
More comment? And I'm talking about the one on Main Street, that's where I park my truck, so that's where the old guy out. My name is John Coulson, I'm a truck driver, I've been driving truck since 1999. And I had parked out at the old outlet center, and I had stuff stolen, somebody got killed out there before. And I ain't feel safe that when y'all started allowing us to park up there. I felt safe, y'all put lights up there, so no make me feel safe. And y'all bring them apartments up in town, they turn to Section 8, you talking about crime right in town. And that Peter Markenberg place, you can scratch that, because ain't nobody gonna feel safe coming up in Monroeville without a crime. And that apartment complex get built there, it will be crime here in the city of Monroeville.
Thank you. More comment? Yeah, my name is Terry McNeil. I'm a truck driver also. I park my truck up there. Like those guys said, I've parked at the old outlet. I've had diesel stolen, battery stolen, it's a dark area. And where I park my truck now, we have plenty of room. It's clean. Guys they don't litter up there, no tires, no, parts of 18 wheels up there. We try to keep it clean. I just think, it'll be a bad spot. If apartments built there, we have limited room at the old outlet. It's barely in the room down there the park. So if apartments come there, where do we go next? We don't have no place to park. That's all I have to say in the hospital.
My name is April Howard. I'm a piggyback off what they have said. My boyfriend drives a truck, and if they don't have nowhere to park, where will they park? My boyfriend tried to park in their yard, in our yard. They tried to find us to park in our own yard where we pay tax. So where will they park? So if you take that from them, where will we park? Where somebody's trying to have a job, a decent job, a good paying job. Ain't no job around here as it is. So where will we park? That's the question. You don't want to park nowhere, you be wondering somebody's gonna break in your truck, steal stuff from you. So I'm with them. That's a bad idea.
And more comment? I feel more thank you.
All right, and just think about it, okay, building an apartment right there. Not only you got close wind bank there, you police ain't gonna be in control all the time. There's only so much they can do, okay? Kids in the elementary school, you got kids in school, okay, crime rate go up. Hey, my child, I got children go to elementary school, okay, my children out there playing on the playground, crime gets so bad, step in somebody shoot a gun. Okay, it mentioned the whole person that they trying to hit. The whole person jump over there and go hit one of those kids on that playground over there. Bad idea. I'm telling you, that's a bad idea. I'm just being real about it. That's a bad idea.
Okay, in this proposal, there is no provision that needs to be Section 8 apartments. Definitely, it's been presented to the city.
Whether it's Section 8 or apartment, period, bad idea.
They said the same thing about community place apartment.
Yeah, they said the same thing.
Same thing about you.
And then turned into section eight, even one shit all the way down, college ball. Yeah. They'll say that. But then they'll turn around and do
You got apartments already, fixed, so you know about it.
I do have one question. There has been mention of break-ins and everything off of the trucks. Chief, do we have any recorded incident? The only thing that broke out there was people vehicles that people wouldn't more broken in stole guns out there, so not 18-year-old. But.
Yeah, about, about Main Street.
Main Street.
Main Street, you got, like I said, a couple of vehicle burglaries, but not, they really done the burglary, like, at the outlet mall.
But, that's my district, and I feel y'all, I'm with y'all with that, I don't want the partners either. Because it's back of Poplar Street, you got the resident there also. And I talked to the people in the resident, they don't want them. They said they get along y'all well in that area, they work with y'all, no problem at all. And what's gonna help, if they take that side of the street, that part of it, they're gonna take the other side of the street. People will take anything to get something. And that's the issue that I got with it, and it took me a long time to get those lights out there. I mean, like, probably about 10 years to get those lights. And finally, we finally got them. And I'm with y'all, I'm gonna support y'all over there.
They might not be Section 8 apartment, they could be townhouse apartments, and they can still do the same thing, shoot or whatever. It doesn't matter what kind of apartment they use. I mean, if they gonna do something, they gonna do it regardless.
Any additional comment? Any comments from council?
I do have a question, and first of all, I want to say that at least myself, and I think the rest of the council appreciates the truck driving industry and what you guys do, and I think you guys certainly deserve a safe place to park. Do any of the companies reimburse a place to park, or do they, or is that part of the per diem at all, or is that they just leave you on your own to find that?
Once you go through class, and they gonna ask you that last day of class, hey, where you gonna park the truck? I need the mountain on. But if something go wrong, say if the truck driver gets sick, can't make the load, hey, you gotta get another driver to get that load. They need precise information on how to do that. Precise information. They just draw them out, let them know exactly where the truck gonna be parked. The other driver can get there, or they can come get their truck, either one of the two.
But that, like if you stop at a truck stop and stay overnight, they don't provide a reimbursement
No.
for the. Okay.
I have a question. What about abandoned equipment? That's on the lot. If it's abandoned equipment and nobody using it, I've been saying, move, you can move, take it to the junkyard. Take it to the junkyard. We don't, run ahead and pay for, I don't know what the limit is. If they don't reply, y'all sell them to the junkyard, scrap and put the money to the city. Yeah. Okay. And we see anybody throwing trash down there, we always say something to them.
If they put it clean out there, I ride out there a lot and stay pretty clean. Y'all doing a good job out there keeping that place up.
So we wouldn't be able to have any kind of development on that property across the road, then the city property.
Put some up there for the teenagers.
I mean, a hotel or whatever. I mean, all that's gonna be out if we can't have anything.
Build something for the teenagers to try to keep their mind busy, so they won't be getting in trouble.
But that's gonna take up the truck parking if we do that. You see what I'm saying?
Know what you're saying?
They just leave it just like it is, eat bread, cut. We're having.
When they go out there and watch the movie.
Yeah, then watch them, let them know ahead of time with your other side.
I was just thinking like, like we had this come up not too long ago, out there, Regent Drive, those apartments. It was a personal district, and I supported him because he didn't want it, so I hope they support me the same way. There's no difference.
So we don't want any apartments in the city limits,
I don't
that's
think,
what we're saying.
yeah, I think we do these things, but not right here. I think, yeah.
But anywhere you put them, this could be the same
Well, he
reaction.
can put them over there, across the street from what's not told on the other property, worth $100,000. He'll put out that for the property for $9,000.
So I'm gonna interject real quick, from an urban planning standpoint. There is a strong movement towards getting more housing in the downtown area. And it would be not Section 8 housing. As I understand it, I haven't seen the floor plans, but it would be a higher end apartment.
I understand that. I hear that all the time, but it don't work that way.
Yeah, because most times.
Well, it depends, a lot of that's how it gets financed, so that's the difference in this.
I don't believe it.
But you still have to take into consideration of what the people in the community are
That's
saying
right, that's right.
that live there. You know, it was just like a couple of weeks ago and they were talking about building apartments across the street from the high school.
That's right.
Like, they just absolutely were adamant about it and they didn't want it. And then with these truck drivers having a safe place to park, with lights and stuff. I mean, when you go to work, you want to be able to come home and know that nobody's waiting in the dark for you.
I do have one question. For several years, the city has diligently worked to attempt to attract a hotel. I mean, like the Hampton Inn, American, Holiday Inn Express, such as that class of hotel to the city. And the prime location was on that old Vanity Fair dive. So, well, I'm hearing from y'all that if we were successful in attracting one, you don't want to see a hotel.
No. What about purchase land from the, on the bypass right there?
What you have to take into consideration is incentives that you can offer for such a quality hotel to come here. And those are incentives that we can offer for that property.
Well, wait till we get to that point.
Well,
Get to that point yet.
Well, but you know, what they said, they didn't want to see anything on any of the property.
But,
So that's why, I come back and ask that question.
So there's no other place to put a hotel besides that one location here in the city?
Not
downtown,
Not that the city has the incentive for it, and what you're trying to do, you're trying to put where you can attract, activities downtown.
On the gateway
Yeah,
to the
on
downtown.
Gateway.
What's wrong with all that old shopping center that ain't nobody doing this loud in the building over there?
That's not on main gateway that you're looking for. So all I'm saying is now, and what my question is, you're telling me that in addition, you're adamant about not allowing, about keeping the truck parking over there. But you're coming back and you're telling me at the same time that on the prime piece of property I have, you don't want to see a 4-star hotel go up on that property.
I think that, the hotel there will have them do them parking there because that'll help the hotel, because the truck drivers from around town, they probably set the hotel. Yeah. So I think it'll help. I mean, it's still one until they parking there. On that end.
Well, the reason I asked that question is because if the residents of the city are going to be against it, there's no need of me going out keep trying to recruit. Which is what I'm doing, along with the EDA office, trying to recruit to develop their property.
What about this spot right inside, right inside Central Supply? What they doing there right now? They closed down?
The city does not own that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, do the city own the old outlet?
The old outlet mall?
The outlet mall.
Yes, the city.
Okay, y'all wanna put apartments there, well, build some for us to park, Not doing that with the old outlet mall, build it up for the park down there or something, make it more safe, more light. It's roped off, so what's the purpose of the rest of the area back there? It's just going away. All right.
Well, is there any other public comment? There not being any, I think the next thing on is for the council to, either approve or deny the request. So do I have a motion to either approve or deny the request?
You do that, goes to the council meeting.
No, you do that here.
Oh.
You do it here.
Okay.
Mhm.
So can we define what you're asking us to approve or deny?
To approve the swap of the property, as described between Main Street and Drury Road and Alabama bypass, Alabama 1 bypass, and then Fair Drive with Tacoma Corporation. So I need a motion to either approve or deny.
I'll make a motion to deny.
Okay, it's been moved to deny the swap of the property. Do I have a second?
I'll say.
Okay. Second is necessary to do a roll call vote, Mr.
You need to say, call it unanimous first, and
Okay,
then if not, then yes.
okay, all in favor of not approving?
Well,
Okay, unanimous vote, not. Okay,
Thank you.
I need a motion to adjourn this public hearing. please.
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Okay.
Wait, I see a question why they look at this property. And then, for instance, they have that other property, which it may not be enough to put that on it. But we also own property behind that we can work something out with. We know they will file a location. There's no advantage to partner with them. They located it downtown. It's like a hotel. Well, I think
You got that part there on Main Street. And the other day, there's one part of the neighborhood there on the dock. What I like to do is, I would like to see us develop some place that was big enough, one place for everybody. I told and let's see them all.
$250 million
Right. Well, I mean, you put some people out like that. And there's some.
Well, the thing you do it, if you get that, then you can substitute and where you can go to the park, you give them a call, it's much more like, and charge them.
And the line is important, you know, a lot of them, they leave it before daylight, and they get back at you.
For sure.
Pretty soon.
Well, you can't tell who waiting on you to talk.
Sometimes you think that it was, it's like, this is one of these things, I like the way to use it. I mean, I feel for it. We won't have a part of residents, which I understand that, I agree with that. And the next thing is where do you provide? And folks with Dixon, somebody will wake up there one day and you know, ain't nobody. Oh, I mean, if I own that property, I would not. Property because of the opportunity of deteriorating the market. And partial, our best. To do it for partial, I think we're going to $4 million. And that diesel fuel, is going to leak out. When they drop the trailer, that heat goes into there. I mean,
I was
not a good answer.
at one central location.
There we are, they're able to put out. Chain on the fence, put a gate in there, then in charge of $25. Take it. Yeah, I know, I don't remember seeing all the deals. Do that.
sensors on and they operate with them. And then they don't operate. Oh, no.
You would have to be. It throws you off on like all that number.
I don't think it's bad.
I just,
Oh, yeah, 455.
both of them. They're involved. One is
Time is now 4:55.
I don't know.
Well, we.
Gotta get in the big gallon. Big gallon.
So I did it right over there, so I can.
You don't even. Oh, yeah.
And I down there.
And build shed. He's paying. He's paying rent.
We never had no problems nowhere.
He's got one of the kids out there from Johnny.
It's time for public hearing. 4:55.
The time is now 4:55 p.m. I'd like to call the public hearing to order for weed and debris abatement. The floor is now open for public comment.
Do we have a list of the properties?
Yes, okay. I'll go ahead and read that. The list of the properties are Robert Dale Grant, property address is 137 Highland Drive, Monroeville, Alabama. Also Susan Stoops Nelson, property address 89 North Golf Drive, Monroeville, Alabama. Also Nation Star Mortgage, 312 Clausdale Road, Monroeville, Alabama. Melanie Stokes Wiggins, corner of Poplar and Monville, Monroeville, Alabama. Justin Rumley, 37 Maple Street, Monroeville, Alabama. These are the properties. Okay. All right. Is there any public comment? Okay. There being none. Do I have a motion to approve or deny the weed and debris abatements?
I make the motion to approve.
Okay. Then properly moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor? Okay. All right. Time is-
4:59.
Okay, time is now 4:59.
You have
See
to.
you. Do I have a motion to adjourn the public hearing? Make a motion to adjourn the public hearing. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Hey, Tim, could we get a copy of that before council meetings? Could you send us an email?
With this information, that's what we were accustomed. That way we kind of know before we.
A
get-
list of the properties he's talking about.
Yeah, the list of the properties.
Those are the properties that weren't cut from the time from before.
Whatever, we just need a list. Every time we go to approve something, we just need a list of what we voted on that day.
Okay. Well, up until today, this is the first time since I've been here that I have provided a list of the lawns that weren't cut from the previous resolution. So the typical new lawns, I have that list for, but I will make that list for you. Usually I don't, I check everything the morning of city council.
Yeah,
So
we just,
it'll be real tight to get it in.
yeah, email.
Have your list and mark off the ones that did take care of it and make a copy of it. Just each copy.
And then run out to the next scene, do that electrical inspection and all those other things in that day.
Yeah, but if you are checking those, mark them off in 5 minutes when you come in here for a meeting. Have it turn them off.
Okay. All right, time is now 5 p.m. I'd like to call to order the regular meeting of the Monroeville City Council. The first item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the work session as held on August 2nd, 2022 at 3:30 p.m. The regular meeting is held on August 2nd, 2022 at 5 p.m. Special call meeting held on August 9th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Work session is held on August 16th, 2022 at 3:45 p.m. Public hearing is held on August 16th, 2022 at 4:50 p.m. And the regular meeting is held on August 16th, 2022 at 5 p.m. Do I have a motion for the approval of the minutes?
So moved.
Okay. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Okay. Next item on the agenda, was approval of the land proposal, since we already discussed that, and we've taken a vote at the public hearing, there's no need to pass anything on that. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval of the new hire for the revenue officer for the administrative section, Ms. Elizabeth Richardson. Do I have a motion to approve the hire of Ms. Elizabeth Richardson?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I'll say.
Okay, all in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda is the new hire of the court magistrate, Miss Michelle McMillan, to work in the magistrate city court clerk's office for the city of Monroe. Do I have a motion to approve the hire of Miss Michelle McMillan?
I so moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Discussion.
Discussion?
With the grounds that, you said that she would be able to work out whatever conditions. We have that in a minute, that she would work out whatever time frame that Manny needed. her to
Determined by
stay.
the chief?
Yes.
Okay. We can approve that. Okay. All right. So all in favor? Okay.
Abstain.
Okay, with one abstention. Okay, the next item on the agenda is the approval of Mr. Jarrell West promotion from equipment operator 1 to street foreman. The recommendation of Mr. Mike Lassiter, who had a medical situation come up and not able to be here today. Do I have a motion for the promotion of Mr. Jarrell West? I'll make a motion. Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor? Thank you. Okay, I also have here the approval of the termination of Mr. Isaiah Biggs with public words for violation of policy and procedure. Do I have a motion to approve the termination of Mr. Isaiah Biggs?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? The next item on the agenda is the approval to advertise for public works. Is it one labor or two? That's fine.
I think he's gonna advertise for 2, but I just have to put the advertisement as labor.
Okay,
So just he can hire him.
okay. Do I have a motion to approve the advertisement for public works labor? Make a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, all in favor? Okay, the next item is the approval to advertise for a public works equipment operator 1 and 2. Do I have a motion to advertise for the public works equipment operators 1 and 2?
I so moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? The next item on the agenda is the approval to advertise for a public works landscaper. It required, we do advertise, but we're looking at hiring from within, but do I have approval to advertise for a motion to advertise for public works landscape?
I so moved.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Okay. The next item on the agenda is approval of the bid for the water fountain for the Main Street project. Wait, wait a second. Looks like the bid is on Ferguson Industrial. Here's that Ferguson Industrial is the only bid that we have. And the bid was for $25,303. And out of this, the city, the sub-recipient agreement with Main Street for $15,000. 18,000. Okay, stand corrected. The sub-recipient agreement with Main Street for 18,000, but they always bid through the city to do this. We only have one bid, that's for $25,300.03. So do I have a motion to approve the bid for Ferguson Industrial Group for $25,303 for the purchase of Paul Water with Ball Refill Station? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion to one discussion.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion.
Where are they gonna be located and how many?
There are 6 total. One will be at the water board. Water board will pay the water bill on that one. One will be at Wild Culture Park near the water fountain. It'll look to that line. One will be in front of the library. I'm 90% sure that the county commission is gonna bump up the library's utilities on for this year to pay the difference on that. One will go near the splash pad at Veterans Park. One will go in Whitey Lee Park near an existing water line, and that is yet to be determined. And the 6th one, the mayor and I were working on a location, and it was waiting to see if we felt like the location had been secured enough before we could put it there, and the backup location is the senior center.
Are they gonna be with, safeguards where they won't run all the time and stuff like this, or?
Yes,
Okay.
these are some of the best on the market, the hall, which is why we specifically requested the halls. They are all freeze resistant.
Is it in a way possible that you could put one in the Closet Park?
That we're waiting to make sure that is the 6th location, to make sure that, the mayor, we discussed making sure everything was secured in there enough that there were not, and I think there'd been some trouble with some vandalizing in that area. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't run into the problem that something got knocked over and then a giant water bill came up.
These are very, you know, if we taking steps to security. And so, you know, we want to make sure that it's adequate, because these are very expensive, as you see. So,
So the city's responsible for the remaining 7,300 is
Main Street.
Main Street, that's okay.
And then we're responsible for the AARP grant also for the installation.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, we talk about Clownville Park there. They had one, right there, pretty close to the basketball goal, to the basketball court years ago. I think it just got worn out. They took good care of it, so I don't think we have a big issue with it. And plus, we got a camera sitting directly. We'll know who messed with it, somebody messed with it.
And that was the discussion the mayor and I had, because the original plan was that I gave 7 possible locations to AARP. But the original plan always was to put one in each of the 3 major parks.
So they need it down there, cause it's get pretty hot down there. Some guys playing ball.
And these will all have a water fountain, and above it, you can refill your own water bottle, just a water drinking bottle.
The 3 downtown tie into tourism and the others tie into community development and connection.
Any further discussion? If not, it's been moved and properly second for the approval of the bid for the water fountains from Ferguson Industrial. All in favor? Okay, one of the items I have to present is the request from Monroe County High School for their homecoming parade to be held on September 23rd and bonfire on September 22nd. Discussed with the chief about the parade, they will follow the normal route that we've used in the past. And they were asking for approval to conduct this parade. So do I have a motion for the approval of the Monroe County Homecoming Parade and bonfire?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The next item I have on the agenda is concerns a pay adjustment to the hourly rate of dispatchers for the Monroe Police Department. And it has been recommended to adjust that hourly rate to $13.69 an hour. That will not hinder the merit step raises that are coming forward also. Do I have a motion to adjust pay rate for the Monroe Police Department dispatch?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Discussion, real quick.
Discussion.
I just want to, it's my opinion, I don't think we need to give up an officer position for this. I feel like we can afford to give that increase without lowering the number of officers on patrols. I think that was part of that conversation, wasn't it? So,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
so yeah, as long as we want to keep the same number we've been having per shift. I think everybody's in agreement with that.
No further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
The other thing I would like to bring the council up to date on is a special work session to finalize the general fund budget, meeting on September 13th. I think that's on a Tuesday. Will that work for everybody?
That's all shut out there, we probably will be here. Could be, they got the community.
All right, and the other item was, talking with Ms. McKelvey. She had finalized the, strategic plan and asked to do a presentation to the council. She said that may be about an hour-long presentation. And I'm trying to see you September 20th, next council meeting.
That'd be good.
Okay.
What time on the 13th?
13th, we do 4:30 to 5. That's accommodates everybody. Okay, 4:30. Okay. 4:30 on 13th. Okay, and I think I informed the council that we will be receiving the rubber mulch for Clausdale Park and
Thank you.
yeah, the Wyatt Lee Park. Okay,
When do y'all want Ms. Connie this week to speak with regarding the strategic plan? So she's gonna speak for an hour.
that's what I'm saying, September
You know what I'm
20th.
saying, what time?
What time?
Mhm.
So there's some council.
Yeah, we can do it after council meeting.
Okay.
That's probably. We're here.
I think that pretty much covers everything I have. That's my fault.
I don't have Michael here, go ahead. So
That's the reason we're getting loose on food.
Oh, Councilman. Councilman Ross, Councilman.
I did want to ask Tim on some more weed and debris abatements. You said that commercial building at Hines and South Mount Pleasant is on your list. And then, yeah, coming up, the two houses on Mill South that are overgrown on the next one. And then there's one at 67 East Wiggins. I think a Stokes house at the very end. But I appreciate that. I just want to confirm those were on the next coming up. So. That's all I have.
Yeah. I think the next council meeting, we need to go ahead and discuss some street paving. I know I need Mike to do it again. So I just want to let everybody know.
I do have one question. Chief, is blanks with four-wheelers, three-wheelers, golf carts, anything has changed, it's been better or worse? Okay.
And Chip is working on, a proposal.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I have to take, like one person told me, it wasn't a golf cart problem. It was a parent problem.
Okay. Chief Black, Chief Armstrong.
The reasons for this that start.
For the dispatch, when you need to start, the pay period, so you would need that. Okay.
The beginning of next pay period?
They're actually receiving on this check.
Oh, you want them to see the big,
I'm asking, so I can get paperwork coming in. I know we're gonna lose one for sure if we wait until October. Make sure everybody be on the line.
Wednesday, the next pay period start.
We just started Thursday.
what's the,
Back it up to 30.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with starting. Pay period.
The next paper,
No, this,
this paper.
right, pay period, you just make it start this Thursday.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Bruton.
Yeah, the old timer thing, transfer and stuff to work this Saturday, at Veterans Park from 8 AM to 2 PM. So we're inviting everybody to come out.
Okay, all right, Ms. Atkins.
I need to, the senior citizens at the senior center really wanting their garden to grow something besides weeds. And they're willing to help what they can. So I don't know if we've got anything in the budget. I don't know how y'all have done that in the past. I know it didn't come to the senior center budget. But, Ken, that would be something you need to.
You need to talk to that gentleman.
Here and it's in his district.
Talk to that gentleman beside you too. He's got plans for that. So.
And, I know that we, Mr. Willie from the, extension service or whatever, to help with it.
There is been money in the budget for that.
And like I said, I don't remember where that came from, but I would love to see
Brenda
that.
got it from,
It is.
It's in the,
yeah,
it's in the
Brenda,
council budget.
Brenda got the money from, I thought she got it from y'all, and $500. Brenda didn't. Yeah, that's where she got the money from.
It's in the budget.
Mhm.
Maybe. Budget out.
Okay. And that
$500 will do a
that
lot.
would be
Be
good
already
for
built,
them
we can do a
to
lot.
get out and get some sunshine and watch somebody else work. A lot of them can't do the work themselves, but they like to go out and piddle and pull weeds and things like that.
That might be a good project for 4-H and, needs to be soon from amazing.
I will check with Missy if I feel tonight involved in.
If you all have the money for You know, the seats and everything.
Cause the, Public Works built.
Yeah.
Built
The biggest
stand-up-
fence is, biggest fence to take care of.
Yeah.
Little fertilizer organic material and seed to get it going now.
Okay, that sounds good. They'll be glad to see that we're gonna get that fire back up. All right, Ken? Thank you.
The light out at the, behind the community house, channel that back, parking lot area, that big flood light is out.
All right, now Miss Janie told me it was the one, and I told the police department it was the one going up the drive.
Yeah, that's the one channel on the back side of the cafeteria. When you come up that hill,
Uh-huh,
it will be the one right on that corner.
okay. All right, well, they, I had called, and I mean, can you check and see if they, I think I talked to CC when it was reported. So if, cause she was gonna, I went to flag it, I didn't have any flagging material, and she was gonna get one of the officers to go by and flag it.
But right there, where they doing all that work, it's right there, that.
Right there, okay.
Okay. All right. Tim? Okay, Ms. Hunt?
No, sir.
Okay. This time I'd like to recognize Ms. Andy Marshall, who is outreach consultant for the Tri-State out of their regional office. Thank you for attending our meeting.
It's nice to be here. I was telling the journalist, last time I was in Monroeville, when Land of Fair, I was coming out in shop.
Been a long time.
The actress and I came to, I've been on this area, but it's pleasant to be here with you all. I think Mayor Andrews, you found out calling you about the National League of Cities conference, and I also really want to know about the, Alabama League of y'all business customers out there. And I hope that you sign that page form.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, it starts on, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yes, ma'am. I did.
Thank you.
Okay, is there any further business for the city of Monroeville regular city council meeting? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn this meeting for Rover City Council.
You'll have a second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Miss Maria, about 5 minutes.
You know how it goes.
Just call it.
Now. You can get that other, you can get that in.